Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Tatro with your Southwest Ag Grain Market Update for March 23rd, 2018. Well, Trump is putting his money where his mouth is, and he's going down the road of a trade war. Now let's just see how easy it is to win one. So it should be really interesting to see how this all unfolds, so good luck to everyone involved. So in today's video, we're going to talk about planting intentions down in the U.S., the weather, and Southwest Ag's company update. So the market did react fairly negative to the news this morning about Trump and the tariffs, but we are seeing a bit of a rebound as corn is in the green along with wheat, and beans have moved up from their morning lows. So as we start to move into planting season, we will see if this has any effect on what goes into the ground this spring. Speaking of which, planting season has begun for the Midwestern Corn Belt. However, the Corn Belt might not be so corny this year, as there is more soybean theme happening down there this summer. USDA will release its prospective planting report at the end of this month, but that hasn't stopped private analysis firms from releasing their acreage estimates, which has been indicated at 92 million acres of soybeans and 90 million acres of corn. So forget the Cinderella stories in men's basketball, this is the upset of the year. A couple reasons for the big switch are the increased input costs, the basis levels in the US for corn, and if we look at the corn to soybean price ratio, we are sitting at roughly 2.6 price ratio today, which is a general indicator for most growers which crop could potentially be more profitable in the growing season. The other crop that could potentially steal some decent acreage away from corn is cotton. Since the major hurricanes from last fall threatened the crop, world demand for US cotton has been outstanding as export sales are up 61%. USDA also lowered cotton ending stocks by 500,000 bales, and according to the USDA, the world's 2018-2019 reduction of ending cotton stocks will be the third in 4 years. China's ending supplies will be down also for a fourth consecutive year, and it is in that environment of shrinking international supplies that US cotton exports are looking more promising. In the first full week of March, the crop wasn't even planted yet, and spot prices for cotton came close to hitting last year's high of 87 cents per pound. It'll be interesting to see if cotton prices entice more plantings than USDA's early estimates of 13.3 million acres. Either way, cotton will be an interesting watch in 2018. So as we continue to be in a weather market, Argentina's weekend forecast calls for light rain Friday night, but it's followed by another significant period of dry weather. Brazil is in for some favorable weather for the growing second crop of corn. In the US, we see dryness continue in the southern plains, doing more damage to an already poor rated wheat crop. Here in Ontario, seems like we're in for a little bit longer winter, as spring weather isn't even really in the long-term forecast. Moving on to Southwest Ag Company's update, I'm sure many of you are aware that earlier this week, Cargill announced that they have reached an agreement on the sale of their crop inputs and grain assets in Ontario, which includes their 50% share of Southwest Ag Partners to Lac-What Federated. The Southwest Ag grain facilities that are included in the transaction are Beecher, Grand Point, Palmerston Grain, Rutherford, Tupperville, Wallaceburg, and all the grain satellite relationships, as well as our crop input facilities in Eberts and Richtown. Finalization of this transaction will take place upon the completion of definitive agreements and any regulatory reviews, which are expected to be completed in the second quarter of the calendar year. We are looking forward to continuing as Southwest Ag Partners and to also be working with Lac-What Federated. This will bring new opportunities to the marketplace for our customers. I hope everyone has a great weekend. This has been your Southwest Ag Grain Market Update. I'm James Tatro, keeping the swag in ag.